Hey guys, today I'm playing some more City Skylines Mass Transit, and we have Mars Radio on, which I might leave on, because I actually really like the music. If you don't know, if you didn't see last episode, there's been the Mars update, which I've been informed is because this company, Paradox? I think it's Paradox, they make all the cool shit, have made, the people who make Surviving Mars, so they've done this to like cross-promote, and it's cool, and this Mars Radio is really nice. It's like, the one thing this game was missing to be like the really cool indie game was like a really nice soundtrack, so yeah, I'm gonna leave it on. Anyway, so yeah, last time we made ourselves our Chirpex launch site. Still no one gives a fuck, no one's gone and seen it. It's very expensive, but maybe the rocket will, or maybe once the rocket's built, the visitors will come? I don't know, but apparently maybe putting some other buildings around it might help, because it is really far out, because it's a fucking launch site. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Because people are coming, there's like a bunch of people about, but they're just coming to shop. They're like, rockets are cool and all, but you know, you've got a freaking convenience store here, man, and a quiet corner shop, and a general store. Where else would I get that, bro? And then a fucking big bite restaurant. It's not bad, man. Why would we go and see the rocket? We're happy with our little shop. Anyway, alright, let's get building. Let's get building. Thanks for the amazing vacation. See you next year. See you later, motherfucker. How are we doing, tourism-wise? Let's find out. Is it outside connections? So, tourism? Well, we get 1,400 weekly tourists. Not bad at all. And most of them are rich. We barely get any poor people. It's like they can't afford to fly places. We have good exports. We export a lot of oil now. That's good shit. Agricultural exports. Not bad. And, yeah, forestry. That's become a big part of our exports. Oh, cool. And we import tons of shit because, well, this whole import, I'm not producing enough stuff somehow. So yeah, anyway, let's keep on producing industry. Industry's going pretty well now, actually. I was really worried this whole playthrough would just die, but it hasn't, which is good. So, yeah. Not enough workers. Well, that's really your fault. I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but you've got to put out more ads and stuff, man. I mean, who the fuck wants to cut wood anymore? I actually really enjoy chopping wood. And yes, that is a euphemism. No, it's not. No, because like, well, I used to do it when I was a kid, well, a teenager, when I could lift an axe. Because, you know, we had a wood burner in the house, and, you know, that's how you keep the house warm. Because, I don't know, it's wholesome and it looks nice. And yeah, so I'd, like, you know, chop some wood with axes, and that was always really fun, you know. You feel pretty manly just, like, smashing wood with, yeah. I can't really tell if the music's loud or not, because, I still have a cold a little bit, so my hearing's fucked. I don't know why, my hearing gets fucked really easily. Which is, yeah, I hate it. Also happens when I drink alcohol. My hearing gets a bit, I can't tell if things are loud or not. Like, I can hear things, but I can never tell if they're loud or not. So I might be screaming at you right now, because of the cold, not because I'm drunk. Because, yeah. Anyway, alright. Just slowly expand industry. This will just fade out. I don't want too much industry here, because it is next to the industrial center. But yeah. Alright. Well, that was that song. That was nice. Sugar Orchestra. If the music gets shit, or if sometimes there's people talking, I'll just turn it off. But for now, it's alright. Okay, so industry is slowly getting built. Gonna put in a little more here, because why not? I want to put some more offices in as well. I said I was going to do that last time, and then just didn't, because I forget to do things a lot. So, yeah, I was gentrifying Poor People Town a long time ago, before everything went to hell. Let's not put them here, though, yeah. We don't want any offices, oh no, we don't want any offices on this bit of the road, because we don't want people stopping there. So yeah, alright. So we got, yeah, our Poor People Towns are going well. I should definitely put more people in Poor People Town North. Might even implement a Poor People Town South in the oil industry. Because oil's back. Oil's back, bitches. It got lame for a while, but it's back. It's cool again. It's cool to burn oil. Maybe that'll become the thing, like, because now it's kind of, you know, it's cool to have solar panels on your house and drive like a Tesla. Although I fear it's becoming just a bit douchey. So just because it's like an expensive car, I don't know. But anyway, it's a cool thing to do. Maybe eventually it'll be like cool to still be hooked up to a oil power plant and drive a car burning gasoline and things. Crime rate is high. Well, yeah, there's a quality appliance stored in a silo. It's pretty easy to steal stuff from a silo. Yeah. No, but I imagine, like car guys will probably still, like, have their, like, cool muscle cars and stuff after everyone's driving electric cars. And that'll be fine, because it won't do too much damage, and that'll be nice. I reckon, well, yeah, classic cars are always going to be around, so there probably will be gasoline cars for a while. Although the really high-performing cars nowadays are actually hybrids, like the new Ferraris and stuff. They're faster because they use hybrids. Like, Priuses are shit because they're slow and lame and actually apparently worse for the environment because they're not very recyclable or something. But anyway, but they're made to be efficient. But because an electric motor kicks in like instantly. You can get a bunch of torque and then pass over to the powerful, fuel-burning engine, combustion engine. That's the word I was looking for. And then you've got a really fast car. So it's actually interesting. You get a lot of cool stuff out of electric cars. Yeah, I think that was on the Grand Tour. They were driving the hybrid Ferraris and shit, which was cool. I haven't watched much of the Grand Tour though. Like, it kind of got lame. Oh yeah, I started putting offices over here. I forgot about that. Well, anyway. Well, the Grand Tour, the TV show, I probably talked about this before because I have very strong feelings about it. Like, it was it was a very cinematic show, and it was good, but it felt really scripted. So if you didn't know, somehow, the Grand Tour is like new Top Gear, because Jeremy Clarkson got fired for punching someone. I mean, who the fuck gets fired for punching someone now? So they got fired off the BBC. Amazon picked them up because money. And then they made the new Top Gear, and it was cool, but it was just so scripted. Like, there was never, like in Top Gear before, it probably wasn't real, but there always felt like there was a little bit of danger. Like, they'd drive through war zones and they'd be like, ooh, we're gonna die. Or in Africa, it'd be like, we're gonna get stuck here. Or in the Arctic, I think it was the Arctic, it was like, we could get stuck in the ice and things. And yeah, they'd be saved and rescued, but there felt like there was a little bit of danger. But there was never any of that in the Grand Tour. It just wasn't interesting. It was always just kind of, oh no, the sea's coming in. Oh, that might mess up our cars. Oh, we're in real trouble here, guys. It's like, yeah, nah. It just felt really scripted and lame, so I didn't like the Grand Tour. Anyway, how's our rocket coming along? Pretty good. So it's almost built, and then there'll just be a bit of launch prep. Hopefully that'll launch today. That'll be good. How's our crime rate? 6%, not bad. I don't know what 6% crime rate means, but, you know, whatever. How's traffic? Is it terrible? 63%, eh. It's not ideal. It's not bad, though. I think it's important to check in on traffic every now and again, so I'm going to do that. So here is still pretty bad. Yeah, there's just too much. Like, this bridge sort of helped. Yeah. Not ideal, though. And then this is fine. So, and then obviously this is busy as shit. Yeah, double roundabout didn't help too much. Yeah, plan. Because it's mostly backing up here. So if I had just like a one-way motorway that went right up to here straight away, so you go up and then like that. No? Yes? Can I? Oh my god, I'm dying. How do I turn the snapping off? There we go. Let's just turn off everything. And then do this. And then this. And then... No? Ah, that's no good. And this. And then... I want to connect it to this, but inexplicably I can't. Okay, I'm thinking if we bypass this or... Oh no, I don't need to bypass this. That's the whole point of this whole motorway. Okay. This is dumb, but maybe if I just do this. You just cut across. There's a bypass on the motorway. I mean, there should be a bypass. Maybe I need to redesign this entirely, because it's backing up a long way. And this is like our oil. That's the most important thing in the world, man. Yeah, I don't think this is going to help a bit. Okay. Huh. So, I mean, most of these people are just going onto the motorway, I reckon. So, I'm going to rework this. I'm going to leave that... Oh, I can't leave it running because, yeah, traffic. So if I destroy all of this, kind of just wildly... I'm going to turn this music off. It's distracting me a little bit too much. There we go. Alright. If you like it, though, just tell me and I'll keep it on and stuff in future episodes. I'm also not wearing headphones, so it's probably not the best idea to leave it playing. Alright. So if I do... Ooh, okay, yeah, turn all of them off. And then this, there we go. And then that. So you can just go directly onto the motorway. Right, yeah. Then what? Then what was the plan? I think this was what it was like before, but it didn't work, but I still think this is better. And then instead of having two roundabouts like a bloody idiot, I'm going to have just one big roundabout. A custom giant roundabout. And this will work perfectly, as all of my crazy roads do. It'll be perfect without flaws, and I'm very excited about it. I think this is going to go well. So it needs to be big enough to just kind of encompass all the roads. Right. Because the problem is this is a big traffic flow area for the oil industry, but it's also a very big junction for all the other industry and the suburbs. So yeah, it's an issue. It's a big problem. So anyway, let's get this going up there, and this going down here. So we can join pretty easily. I'm gonna get rid of this. That doesn't look very good. And then obviously, right. So this was a bypass. So if I, yeah, this would let people out more easily. So if I do, no, I'm not going to add a little thing there right now. I need to move this fire station. Oh, a firehouse. I swear it can't be called a firehouse somewhere. That's just too stupid a name. It's like, what's that? Oh, no, the bit with the fire. It's like, oh, what do you want to call it? I don't know. Is it where the fire lives? The firehouse? It's like, oh, alright, yeah, firehouse. That sounds good. Said no one ever. Firehouse. That's dumb. Maybe it is called a... No, I don't think I've even ever heard of that, like, referred to as a firehouse by Americans. Like, I don't know. I think that's just a... I don't know. Anyway. Alright, so now this place is linked up. This road is linked up. Maybe just keep it like that. Keep it simple. Wait, these aren't traffic lights. Yeah, they wouldn't stop on the thing, so... Right, okay. Leave it like that for a bit. I've removed all the extraneous little bits. And I'm hoping this will work. This could be widened. Yeah, because there's a lot of people coming out of the farm right onto the motorway. Maybe they should just be able to directly merge. See, now it's getting too complicated again. Now I'm trying to do someone else. It's no good. But it is backing up too much. And there's too many... there's traffic lights here is the issue. And this is the big junction. Yeah, well, there's going to be traffic lights at the junction. Still, yeah, it doesn't solve the main problem. Oh, here's the issue. People are using this to go onto there. That shouldn't happen. Yeah. I'm just going to get rid of this for now. Because what people are doing is they're coming up around and then down. What they need to do is use the whole roundabout. Okay, so I can't see why anyone would go from there down here. And they could take a different route if they did, so... There are vehicles going down here, so I could put an off-ramp. Okay, this is hard to... Traffic's difficult. No wonder this is some people's entire job. That'd be good. Maybe I should do traffic stuff. Maybe, yeah. Maybe I should just bail on my degree. And... It's pretty close to the end, though, Peter. You probably shouldn't bail on it right now. Could write traffic simulation code. That would be probably interesting. I don't really know. Yeah, so... Yeah, this is... it's moving. A lot of people going up here, though. So maybe if I increase the size of this road to like a double lane slip lane. Is that a slip lane? That's a two-way highway. But it should work. Oh, wait, no, it's a double-way highway. That's not what we want. We want it to be one way. So, how do I do that? Oh, well, it just should be one way. That's how everything else works. Two-lane highway? Yeah, there we go. That's what we want. Crazy green van coming down this way. We'll just let more people sit there for a bit. Increase road capacity. You know what we need? We need tunnels. Actually, why don't I build some tunnels? I could build a tunnel. Just a tunnel right from here. Just goes under all of this and meets up with the motorway. Could do. I'll think about it. How's the rocket coming? Pretty good? Pretty good. Abandoned. No one's going to the restaurant. Or the convenience store. What do you mean no one's coming there? What a great city. I would think I'm dreaming if I didn't know otherwise. Well, you don't know that either. You may be in a simulation. You could be dreaming right now. That is always the possibility that this is all a simulation. Mm. And these people are in a simulation. We know that for sure. You know, they're at the bottom level. They're at the bottom of the simulation level. So one of the things people rarely talk about. So obviously there's this theory that you know, this is all a simulation, and you know, our whole world is a simulated one, done by some people in, I guess, a higher level universe to, you know, do some research. Whenever people talk about it, even when smart people talk about it, they're always really uninventive. Like, I think, again, I've probably mentioned this before, but there's some really interesting logical conclusions you can draw from you know, from the whole simulated universe argument, because so the kind of point of it is that computing technology, at least as we've seen it, has advanced ridiculously quickly. You know, 40 years ago, yeah, maybe 30, 40 years ago, it was like Pong was the best game. Like, the game was like two pieces of nothing hitting a ball, and that was the best thing. And now we have this, where I basically have a simulation of 160,000 people living in a city, a simulated universe, if you will, if only a city. So the conclusion is that this may have happened before I guess in the universe we're in kind of the universe above us, and they've, you know, created a simulation, and that simulation is our universe. So yeah, that's the basic theory. And some of the, you know, a lot of people have talked about it, but you know, there's some really one of the things I often hear from some people, which I find extremely odd, is the idea that we should try to break out of it to secure ourselves, to stop ourselves from being being made extinct. You know, if someone accidentally fucks up or decides to turn off the universe, then it's like everything is extinct and gone. And that's the dumbest thing anyone's ever said. You know, it's like, oh, let's break out of the universe. Firstly, how, I guess, upload your consciousness into one of their robots they have lying around? That's a possibility. Assuming that's a possibility, to do it, you'd have to outsmart God, because they would be our God, the people who created our universe and created us. So you'd have to outsmart God, which would be difficult, break into their conveniently placed robot, and then be like, okay, guys, let's not freak out, let's figure something out. And then, you know, then what you would realize very, very quickly is you've just broken out of this universe into the universe above, and then you draw the logical conclusion that the universe you've broken into is also simulated. So you're now just in one level up simulation, and you can follow it to its logical conclusion that there's a high possibility we're almost infinite layers of simulation down. You know, that we are in a simulated universe, being simulated in a simulated universe, which is being simulated in a simulated universe, being simulated, and so on and so forth until, you know, until the top of the universe stack, where we have just a real universe. And a lot of people, you know, the argument against this is, well, I mean, you would eventually run out of computing power, you know, because obviously we couldn't simulate our universe entirely accurately down to the atom in our universe, because there wouldn't be enough computing power, because we wouldn't have enough atoms, you know, to make that enough computers. But obviously the universe above us could be a much more complex, big universe, a bigger, more complicated universe. So our universe looks like city skylines to them. Like, you know, this is very abstract. Obviously, there's no modeling of particles or even, you know, weather or anything. So our universe would be extremely simple to the universe above. Like, our little subatomic particles would be like a house in this game. And yeah, that's something not ever really... They're like, well, there would be a limit. But I don't think there is a limit. I think from the bottom, you can't make predictions about what the top looks like. So the top would be some wildly complicated universe which would be undecipherable to us. Like if you took a City Skylines person out of this, and you know, it would make our universe would make no sense to them. So that's one of the things that people kind of rarely talk about, and makes most talks about simulated universes very boring. I think this is working quite well. I think this is, yeah, the traffic's eased off a bit. And then, what else? There was another point I usually have about simulated universes, other than the infinite layers and the fact that they can be complex. Oh yeah, people always assume we would be at the center of it. Like, well, they'd be studying us and wondering about it. It's like, would they? Like, that's a pretty human-centric thing. And a lot of scientists, you know, bash religion for being too human and Earth-centric. And yet when the scientists talk about simulated universes, they always seem to talk about us being the main part, like, we're the focus, not just an offshoot of seeing what happens when you randomly generate a universe. You never know. We might just be a symptom, not the symptom, not the goal. You know, and that's well, that's nice, isn't it? No one gives a shit about us. Just oh look, these little sentient life forms popped up. That's cool. And yeah, maybe that's true as well. Jesus Christ, this is bad. Where are you going? This doesn't need to be this road anymore. This could be a highway. Let's do that. Anyway, yeah, that's some thoughts on simulated universes. People just you know, they never talk about them very interestingly. I find. I don't mean to sound like I'm the only person who's ever thought these things. Obviously not, but I don't know. Just some of the big debates. Even with I think Elon Musk, he never brought up topics like this. They'll you know talk about limits or even being able to perceive anything about a universe above us from our universe. You can't know anything from from our vantage point. Anyway, yeah. Before I go off topic with my coldiness, oh god, I need to turn all these snapping off. Okay, it's getting stuck on a park. Just tear down the park. Okay, that should help. Maybe. Who knows? We'll see. Whew. I personally wouldn't mind being in a simulated universe, you know. It's like, well, makes no difference. And also the whole, stopping people from turning off the universe. So, obviously, it wouldn't really matter if someone turned off the universe, because it would just be, and then we'd be gone. It would be like dying instantly. That'd be the best. That'd be the best. That'd be the best thing. That is the... yeah, that is the best thing. It's the best way to go, is having your universe turned off. So I don't... that's not something I worry about. And I also think that there would be kind of an implicit agreement among universes that we never switch off a universe. Because the point when you have a universe so advanced that it has sentient life in it, you would just get to the point where you would be like, well, we can't turn it off. Not even because it's wrong. Like, sentient life, you know, turning that off probably would be classified as wrong under standard, you know, standard morality. But I think the reason you wouldn't turn off a universe would be you don't want the person above you to turn off your universe. Like, maybe that's the... You can only turn off a universe once inside that universe they've turned off a universe, and it's like, well, fuck you. So yeah, maybe if we ever create a simulated universe, we will not be able to turn it off, like, because it's like, okay, well, if we do that, then the people above us have a pretty good justification for turning off our universe. Yeah, this has gotten pretty deep, hasn't it? I spent a lot of time thinking about this as a you know, person who likes to think about philosophy and also a computer programmer. It is a good crossover of my things. I also like the theory Sorry, my voice is like really falling apart. I still have a... My cold has turned more into a cough. And I think maybe an ear infection, because I can't fucking hear. Like, I can't tell if my voice is really fucked or my hearing's really fucked. So. Anyway, talking of cosmic terribleness, there's the idea also... How did I start? Oh yeah, I think I was talking about how City Skylines is a simulation, then we came on to all of this. Yeah, alright, so there's also the theory that, that the universe is kind of... You are the center of the universe and the world. It's kind of created for you, almost in a Truman Show kind of way. Like, no one else is real. Maybe the simulation is just you. Like, you are the only real person in it. Because the only thing you can really be sure of... this is going to get really existential, but the only thing you can be truly sure of in the universe is that you exist. You can't be sure that everyone else exists, because you have no real way of verifying that. Like, they could be a simulation, or they could be a dream, and you have no way of knowing that the things you're seeing are real. You could be wearing VR goggles in a more complex way. Yeah, do I want more districts? Yeah, that's fine. I might put an entertainment district in here. Anyway, so yeah, you could be wearing VR goggles, so and headphones, so you don't know what you're hearing and seeing is real. And you know, you can follow this through to the point where the only thing you can actually be sure of is that you exist, because since you are perceiving things, even you know, of dubious reality, you are perceiving them, so therefore you do exist. So that's the only thing you can be sure of. So, you know, you can follow this through to where the universe may be based entirely around you. Well, sadly, that's not true for you, because I am real, so you might not be. But I'm going to put an entertainment thing here. What was I saying? Okay, so yeah, so the universe might just be centered around you, which is kind of cool. You know, you'd be technically... The bit where it gets kind of dark is where you realize that then you would truly be alone. Like, if everything else is not real and maybe you're just an experiment or something, then you're like really alone. That's one of the things one of the few, you know, cosmic things I think about which actually gets close to being scary and depressing. Usually I don't care. Like, if this is not how it is, then I don't mind. I don't mind if it's a simulation or if nothing's real or anything. But like the thought of being... There's something very humanly terrifying about the thought that you might be absolutely, totally alone. Yeah, so that's another part of simulations, is that if it were not just human-centered, but you-centered, you would be in this world where you're truly alone. Oh, God, I get existential when I'm ill. I get existential all the time. I usually just mask it better, but I guess my existential defenses are down since the illness has come. Probably an experiment in my simulation. Just like, I wonder if he gets like super weird and dark when he's ill. Yeah. Yeah, anyway. Let's move on to happier topics. I mean, I like that topic, but it's not the happiest thing to hear about. You are alone in the universe. What do we put here? Is this nightclubs and shit? Game hall, cool. 2 game halls. Puckman Arcade Games. Ah, Puckman. That's cool, because like Pac-Man was originally going to be called Puckman, but people thought you could too easily vandalize it. Just scratch off a bit of the P and it's Fuckman. Yeah. Little fact from Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, which is a fantastic film. I actually haven't read the book or played the game or whatever, but I do really like the film. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It's got some really interesting cinematic things in it as well. Just very well done shots and stuff. It's cool. It's a good film. Anyway, yeah. What was that tweet? What do you say to me, boy? We are finally recycling. We've been recycling forever, you piece of shit. Have you not been recycling? You dick. God, man. I wish I'd left the music on for my super existential bit. I don't think it's on. That might have made it like really, like oh fuck, like really inspiring or something. Telling you might truly be alone in the universe. But yeah, despite all of that, you should probably just assume that everyone is real and everything as it is, because that's the most useful way to view the world. Like, nihilism can lead you to a place where you decide not to do anything, but there's no point in that, and then, you know, it should also lead you to the place where you realise that there is equally no point in doing nothing as there is in doing something, so you might as well do something, because at least it makes you happy, you know? So yeah, there we go. I'm just going to list off some topics. I'm too ill to think of a transition. Simulated universe actually was a topic, but I apparently got there naturally, because it's always on the brain. Oh, okay, right, yeah. So, late night sucks now. Late night television. So in the last few days I've been watching some old Craig Ferguson clips from The Late Late Show on YouTube, because it's one of the greatest shows of all time. It's fantastically funny and weird and wacky, and Craig Ferguson's got a great story, great life story. He has a good autobiography called American on Purpose, about how he became American, and that's a really good book. But yeah. So Craig Ferguson's TV show, The Late Late Show, was kind of a challenge to the form of late night TV, which is kind of. So late night TV is actually not really very funny, but everyone laughs because everyone's laughing in the audience because they're told to laugh and they kind of have to because they're there. So everyone at home laughs because everyone's laughing. Same thing with like The Big Bang Theory, right? If you take away the laughing in Big Bang Theory, it is the most awkward show ever. How's that rocket coming? Almost done. Okay, cool. So yeah, so The Late Late Show is great because it's actually funny and wacky and weird, and like his sidekick is a robot skeleton who just constantly makes jokes, and it's actually so funny that there's like half-hour clips of just Craig Ferguson crying with laughter from Jeff, I think his name is, the robot, because it's just so fucking funny. There's just like really, really long ongoing bits, and it's just fantastic. And you know, it's kind of in the same vein as how Jon Stewart's late night show was The Daily Show about. It's kind of a parody of the news cycle, the 24-hour news cycle, because the 24-hour news cycle, especially in America, is just toxic and terrible, and you've got CNN and Fox who are equally awful. Fox looks a little worse right now because they're trying to, you know, they're sucking up to the president a little bit too much, and CNN at least gets to be the, oh, we're the beaten down people, but no, they're equally terrible. Don't watch either of them. Find a better news network. I don't know what news networks you have in America, but don't watch either of them. They're terrible. Equally so. Anyway, so, you know, Jon Stewart's show would parody, you know, this, with the kind of ridiculous sensationalism. But, and then Jon Stewart's show kind of spawned so much late night TV because it became so popular, because this is how people started to actually get their news, that all the late night shows now are just news shows. Seth Meyers is a good show, but it's just news. It's just slightly funny news. And that's how it's told now. And it's I prefer it to the fucking, you know, CNNs and Daily Mails of the world, but it's kind of depressing that it went from parodying the news to just being the news. And the same thing happened with The Late Late Show. They got rid of Craig Ferguson because he didn't want to do it anymore. He was tired of this, because of course he was, because he was cool. He got bored and wanted to leave for quite a long time. And when he did, they replaced him with James Corden, and now The Late Late Show is just another celebrity show. And it's fine. I mean, so, you know, carpool karaoke is a fun, you know, bit and everything, but it's just another late night show. It's just James Corden, you know, interviewing celebrities. And like Craig Ferguson would do that as well, but it would be hilarious. Like he'd like at the end they'd have a, like at the end of the interview, which was always about nothing, would kind of, they'd always do like a bit, like they'd either play some harmonica or have an awkward pause or try and win $100 or something stupid like that. And you know, and now the Late Late Show is just another shitty late night show, and now all the late night shows that aren't that kind of thing are all just news shows. You have Stephen Colbert and not so much Conan, but you know, all these people just kind of making just doing the news's work now instead of parodying it. And it's depressing. It's yeah. I don't know why that's on my mind all the time, but it is. Whenever I see Craig Ferguson, I'm like, really peaked with you, buddy. Everything's a bit shit now. And it is. And it sucks. But hey, you know, it's fine. Yeah, weird topic. Went from existential crises to late night kind of sucks now, right? You got to be able to jump around. Anyway, let's really spike this episode. So we had existential crises. We had late night sucks. Let's move on to a topic of, do we need a war? I've been thinking recently, and we're in a very divided world right now, more than it was, I think, ever in my lifetime. I'm only 21, but in my lifetime I've never seen the world quite so divided. But I've never seen the world so closely either, because I'm an adult-ish now. Not really, but technically. Like, I would go to adult prison, not juvenile detention, if I would commit a crime. Anyway, so yeah, I've been thinking about it, and everyone always, humans kind of just want to hate something and hate each other, and they always want to just hate stuff. And when you're at war, like a real war, not like going and shooting terrorists in the Middle East, which is a war, but it's not quite it's not a nation-state war. It's not quite the same. You know. Anyway, when you're at war, you get the whole country rallies together against the enemy. You know, fuck the Nazis. You know, oh god, the communists are coming. Oh, oh, we didn't expect the Spanish Inquisition. Shit, and all that kind of stuff. So you just kind of all rally against another country. But now there's no real war. Like, no one's really. The terrorist is a nondescript thing that we're kind of fighting-ish. Oh, I shouldn't have put... Oh god, I need to get rid of that. Yeah, okay, I don't want normal entry there. So yeah, terrorism, there's no real like, oh, we hate these people. It's like, yeah, terrorists is bad, it's kind of our fault, but whatever. So I'm thinking maybe we need a war, you know? Bring people together, you know? Nothing brings people together like someone trying to kill you. A common enemy, as it were. Oh, we've almost got the rocket done. Fuck yeah. Anyway, so yeah, maybe we need to, you know, have a proper war. Maybe China's turning into a Oh, that happened. I was talking last time about how China was gonna become kind of a dictatorship, and it kind of did. Turns out communism sort of lends itself to dictatorships, you know. It turns out it's not super great. Yeah, so that's fucked. So say maybe there was a war between China. We could all be like, fuck you, China, and then we wouldn't hate each other anymore. Although, I don't know, I feel like at this point we all just hate each other so much that it would be like, fuck you, China! And fuck you, you libtard cock! Seriously, if when you type libtard it doesn't autocorrect to library, then you got a problem, man. We don't really, you know, on the left there's no kind of, there's no, libtards are really, it's a good word, I like it. On the left, there's no reptard. I mean, there's Trumpster. It's like, okay, cool. Fuck it, you know? Yeah. Trump. Cool. You know, you know, the right never called the left, Braxters. Barristers. Yeah, Braxters. That's cool, actually. I like that. You fucking Braxter. So there's no, we gotta, you know, we gotta figure out an insult for the left to insult the right more easily. You know, we can't think of one. Fucking... libtard cock is just great. It's like, oh god, I'm a liberal retard, and someone has sex with my wife in front of me. You know, if you didn't know what cock meant somehow. Anyway, yeah. Oh, look, we've got a Saturn V. This isn't a Chirp X Heavy. That's a Saturn V. Like almost kind of picture for picture, really. Look at that. That's a Saturn V. What are you calling Chirp X Heavy? I'm calling that, ooh, I don't know. Bluebird Heavy 1? Nah, it's the Bluebird 5. Sounds like a, oh, that's a good name for a band. The Bluebird 5. That save? Yeah, cool. Can I launch before checks? No. Lame. Just fucking go, who cares? Anyway, yeah, so my point is maybe we need a war. Although obviously that doesn't actually help. Like, it brings a country together, but it divides the world more. What we need is people just to calm the fuck down. Like, why can't people just chill the fuck out for a second? Why do you care that, you know... Oh, well, I guess there's a lot of big problems. But, you know, people gotta stop hating people for who they are. It's like, just, you know, be good to don't hate people because they're refugees. They came from a war we started. Don't hate people because they want to love someone because they love someone that's the same gender as them. It's not a choice, and it's also not an issue. Like, it doesn't do anything wrong, doesn't create any problems, you know. And then also, you know, don't fire people. Also on the flip side, like, don't hate people for having slightly conservative views, you know. It's like that guy at Google wrote that letter about how you can't have a complex point of view at Google because it's just so liberal that it's like, well, you can't start talking complexly about the problems of sexism because we just know it's all bad and it's all misogyny. There's no complexity here. Men are bad, and it's like, you know that kind of stuff, that kind of very hard line left sort of bullshit. And then he wrote the letter to Google employees, being like, trying to explain some of his views and trying to explain how it's difficult working at Google if you're not very left because there's just no room for that point of view. And then they fired him. Just like, Google, you just proved his point. You just fired him for complaining that he can't have views at Google, and it's fucking ridiculous, you know? It's, yeah. Just everyone on both sides is a massive asshole. Just try not to be on either side. Like, my current policy, like, it's probably fairly clear from a lot of things I talk about, I'm probably fairly left. I mean, I'm a young uni student, of course I'm going to be a little bit left. But my new policy is, because it's become very tiring to actually care, is to not care about politics except for 3 days every, like, term. So, in America, that'd be every 4 years. In Britain, that's every 5 years. 3 days every 5 years is how much I care about politics. The day before the election, I look up everyone's policies, I choose who's the best in that day, and that means I've done more research than most people, because I spent a whole day doing it. The next day, I care because I go and vote, and the day after that, I care because I want to see who wins. And then after that, who fucking cares? You know, there's nothing I can do about it. They're all basically the same, except for, like, smaller issues. You know, they've all been bought by big companies, and in Britain it's even worse. We have just literally rich people in the House of Lords being like, yeah, well, we're gonna make some laws, because we're rich, so we get that, so fuck you, poor people. So, you know, I mean, it's a good way to do it, just, yeah. And then when things happen with Donald Trump, just laugh at it, you know? He's a funny guy. He's, yeah. So, yeah, don't let your political side, you know, consume you or define you. Just be nice to people, and don't, you know, don't let a fucking politician tell you why you should hate someone, because fuck them. They're not on your side. They don't give a shit about you. They're just trying to get back re-elected for some reason, to get more power, to, I don't know, feel more like a man or something. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know why. But anyway, yeah, so this is the end of the video. We got ourselves our rocket. We'll launch that next time, unless it's ready now. It's not. We'll launch that next time. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it hasn't been too existential, or, well, it wasn't very politically charged, was it? I just said maybe we should go to war to help out, and then explain my fairly new stance on politics is just, who fucking cares? It's all fucked. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you'll come back to the next episode when we launch a rocket, maybe at Poor People Town, I don't know. And yeah, probably talk about more serious and not serious topics all at once. I'll see you next time.